Skol Nation, hold on tight. After that gut-wrenching loss, there's a flicker of hope echoing through US Bank Stadium. The Vikings dropped to 4-5 against the Ravens, penalties piling up like snow in a Minnesota winter, but now whispers from the locker room are turning heads. Something's brewing that could fire up this defense just in time for the Bears' showdown. You feel that chill? It's the kind that comes before the storm breaks. If you're part of this crew, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the conversation. This community runs on real fans like you. Now, the name that's got everyone buzzing, Jonathan Greenard. Yeah, the edge rusher who's been a force all season, sidelined by that shoulder tweak, but head coach Kevin O'Connell dropped the update we've all been waiting for. Good news after a closer look. No more dancing around it. Greenard's shoulder is on the mend, and he could be back suiting up against Chicago as early as Week 11. Imagine that, 31 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble already in the books, and now potentially returning to terrorize quarterbacks like Caleb Williams. The horns are echoing a little louder today, Skol fans. Let's rewind to Sunday's heartbreak. The Vikings fell 27-19 to Baltimore right at home, and it wasn't pretty. 8 false start penalties on offense? That's not the explosive unit we've seen glimpses of. J.J. McCarthy, our second-year gunslinger, came in hot off that Lions game, but the Ravens' defense clamped down hard. 20 of 42 passes, 248 yards, a touchdown to keep dreams alive, but 2 picks that stung like a frozen turf burn. You could hear the frustration from the stands. US Bank Stadium, usually a fortress of purple pride, felt a bit hollow as the clock hit 0. McCarthy's got that fire, though. Building on his Detroit magic, he tried to sling it deep, but those miscues, they piled up, turning momentum into missed opportunities. The run game sputtered too, and before you knew it, Lamar Jackson was carving through for 27 points. It's the kind of loss that leaves you pacing the living room at 2 a.m., replaying every snap. But here's where the narrative shifts. Defense stepped up late, holding the Ravens to field goals in the fourth, showing grit. That unit's been the backbone, and with Greenard looming, it might just roar back to life. Fast forward to Monday's presser. O'Connell's words hung in the air like pre-game fog, good news on the shoulder. No specifics yet, but the vibe, optimistic. They'll monitor him through the week, but if he suits up, watch out, NFC North. Greenard's not just a player, he's a disruptor. Started every game, that forced fumble against Indy still fresh in minds, turning potential disaster into a Vikings takeaway. And bonus, safety Theo Jackson's cleared the concussion protocol. He's back, adding depth to the secondary that's going to need every bit against Chicago's aerial attack. Speaking of the Bears, this Week 11 clash isn't just another divisional scrap, it's a must-win lifeline. Chicago's rolling in at 6-3, fresh off pounding the Giants. Their offense transformed under new coordinator Ben Johnson. Linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel didn't mince words post-Ravens. He's been doing this for a long time. A great mind, great football coach. Van Ginkel knows the drill from Johnson's Detroit days, those Lions schemes that had Minnesota scrambling. He just finds ways to attack you in a different style that you might not have seen. Johnson's magic, getting playmakers in space. DJ Moore, Rome Odun's, Cole Kmet, Thayer feasting. And at the helm, Caleb Williams. The rookie's growth is no fluke. Johnson's quarterback whisper touch is evident. Van Ginkel nailed it, very good at coaching the quarterback position. Williams has that escapability, turning pressure into poetry. Former coach Dave Wannstedt sounded the alarm on Marquee Sports. The last 2 minutes of the game, Caleb Williams almost performs better when he's under pressure. Avoided 6 sacks against the Giants, unscripted brilliance, keeping plays alive when it counts. For Vikings defenders, that's a nightmare wrapped in a Heisman highlight reel. Wannstedt's warning, Williams thrives in chaos, dodging hands like a ghost in the pocket. If you're a wide receiver, this is it. No ad-libbing expected from receivers, but Williams, he's rewriting the script on the fly. Minnesota's faced him once already this season, won that thriller, but now with Johnson scheming, it's a whole new beast. The D-line, led potentially by a returning Greenard, has to collapse that pocket early. No room for error, pressure's on, but so is the pride. Skol Nation knows what this means. A win catapults us back into playoff contention, breathing life into a 4-5 start that's felt heavier than a January blizzard. O'Connell's rallying the troops, emphasizing regrouping. Offense cleans up those penalties. False starts killed drives against Baltimore, and McCarthy finds his rhythm. Defense, they stifled the Ravens late, now extend that over 4 quarters. Limit Williams' magic, force turnovers, and let Greenard feast if he's cleared. This isn't just football, it's family. The kind where losses hurt deep but comebacks forge legends. US Bank will be electric on the 16th, purple bleeding from the rafters, horns blaring nonstop. Van Ginkel's respect for Johnson, it's fuel. Acknowledge the challenge, then crush it. Wannstedt's insight, preparation gold. And Greenard's potential return, the spark that ignites the fire. Diving deeper, let's talk that Ravens post-mortem. 8 false starts. In front of a home crowd roaring for rhythm. It's amateur hour stuff, snapping the offense out of sync before plays even start. McCarthy's arm talent is undeniable. 248 yards isn't shabby, but those interceptions, costly. One to Kyle Hamilton, picked clean midair, the other a deflection that Baltimore pounced on. The touchdown to Justin Jefferson, vintage, a 35-yard dart that had the stadium shaking. But the what-ifs linger. What if the line holds steady? What if the runs chew clock instead of stalling? O'Connell's no stranger to adversity. Post-game he owned the penalties, unacceptable, now it's fix-it time. Film sessions grinding late, drills hammering alignment. McCarthy's response, poised, build on the positives, he said. That Lions game lingers, a 28-24 nail-biter where he diced the secondary for 300+. Channel that against the Bears' vaunted front, Montez Sweat, Austin Booker breathing down his neck. But hey, Minnesota's got weapons. Jefferson's a matchup nightmare, Jordan Addison's speed blurs lines, TJ Hawkinson's return from IR adds a safety valve. Flip to defense, the unit that's kept games close. Against Baltimore they bent but didn't fully break. Limited Derrick Henry to under 100 yards, impressive considering his bulldozer rep. Sacks on Lamar, too, courtesy of Andrew Van Ginkel and friends. But the secondary leaked too much, Lamar's legs extending drives. Enter Greenard, his speed off the edge changes everything. That forced fumble in week 6, pivotal. If he's 100%, Williams' pocket evaporates. Pair him with Danielle Hunter, 28 sacks last year, and it's a nightmare for Chicago's O-line. Theo Jackson's clearance, underrated boost. Depth in the DB room means Harrison Smith rests easier, Cameron Bynum locks down slots. Against Williams' improvisations, you need fresh legs chasing those unscripted scrambles. Wanstead's point hits home. Williams under pressure isn't panicked, he's alive. Avoided sacks, errant luck. Thayer elite footwork vision. Vikings pass rush must win one-on-ones early, no waiting for stunts. Van Ginkel's take on Johnson, spot on. Johnson's motion play action at misdirects, isolates. Remember Detroit's 2023 playoff run? Same blueprint now in Chi-Town. Caleb's arc, from shaky debut to Bears savior. Week 10 versus Giants, 23 of 29, 340 yards, 4 TDs. Johnson's fingerprints, quick releases, RPOs exploiting edges. Growth evident, fewer forced throws, better decisions, but pressure's his kryptonite turned superpower. Wanstead, incredible what he can do to keep a play alive. Vikings saw flashes in their first meeting, a 24-17 win where Sam Darnold pre-McCarthy era managed, but now, McCarthy versus Williams, young guns dueling in the north. Broader picture, 4-5 feels salvageable. Wins over Lions, 49 earlier. Proof this team's got teeth. Lost to Ravens, a blip, penalties aside, O'Connell's culture player-led accountable shines. Greenard's leadership off-field, veteran presence. If he plays, it's not just stats, it's swagger. Skol Nation rallies around resilience. Bears at 6-3 hot, but divisional games breed chaos. Chicago's run defense, suspect. Aaron Jones, Cam Akers pound the rock, control tempo. November 16, primetime potential brewing. US Bank primed, purple wave crashing. Defense heeds warnings, attacks Johnson's wrinkles. Offense sheds sloppiness, lets McCarthy cook. Greenard, if back first snap, bull rush set the tone. Jackson patrolling the back end, its redemption arc time turned frustration into fury. Fans, this is us enduring winters chasing glory. The horns echo louder with every update. Skol Vikings rise up, reclaim the north. As the week unfolds, eyes on practice reports. O'Connell see how he does for Greenard, cautious optimism. No rushing a shoulder, but necessity's mother here. Playoffs, still in sight, one game at a time. Van Ginkel's honesty builds respect, study film, adapt schemes. Wanstead's wisdom, respect Williams' clutch gene, but Minnesota's no pushover. That late Ravens stand, momentum carrier. Community pulse, forums ablaze, podcasts dissecting. Subscribe, engage, we're in this huddle together. From the Twin Cities to wherever purple flies, Skol Nation stands united. Losses forge champions, hope fuels the fight. Week 11, our stage, let's make it roar.